Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to some Star Wars Villainous. This is the Cold Tactics expansion. So this is the Target exclusive version, which, like all the other Target exclusive versions, just means I have an alternate game piece. All the boards, cards, rules, everything else stays the same. There's no other special thing. Just your one miniature is a little bit different. That comes with the extra little sleeve on here, which has just kind of some little globes and stuff on their Earths. So who are we getting in this expansion? We're getting Grand Admiral Thran, who will be part of the from the Rebels cartoon, as well as lots of other Star Wars stories, but this one's based on the Rebels. And Count Dooku from episodes 2 and 3. I think he's in 3. A little bit at least. So yeah, we're going to get some extra new cool villains in here. Of course, being a 2-player set means you're going to be back and forth a lot more. Obviously, you can buy any of the other expansions to add to this game, to mix and to have more players, as you have more people. So yeah, we're going to show our 2 different guys here. So Count Dooku's kind of brown. Now, Emperor Thrawn, he's kind of like a white or a silver. But if you buy the original one, he's like a translucent blue. That's the only thing I love these Target exclusives, but I really want to go back through personally and collect all the other ones because I like to have both versions because they both, like, the clear translucent ones look pretty neat, even though the solid ones from the Target are kind of cool as well. So yeah, all the base rules are all the same, so I'm not going to go over too much on any of those. I'm just going to do a quick reminder on some stuff so just showing that. They're just going to have their 2 decks, they have their 2 boards. We do have our tokens, so we do have a stack of 20 credit tokens. We have 20 ambition tokens, which I have 2 piles of these. We have our 10 strength tokens, which will have a white -1 on one side and a +1 black on the other side. It's kind of funny. It's the opposite of Disney. And then we're going to have some special ones for each of the other characters, so we'll get to those when we get into them. So yeah, basically this plays like all the other Villainous games. You played Star Wars, you know the exact rules for it. So again, I'm not going to go over too much of all of it. But we did want to mention, though, there is, in case you're more familiar with Disney or Marvel than this, is there's the ambition cost, which is like your normal cost up in the top corner of a card. You have collecting credits, or you have credits which let you use to pay the cost of abilities and most activated cards. So that's your standard one. That's one you'll see on your map, on your board, will be your collecting credits. And they kind of have that same shape on there. And then the ambition are certain ones that you can get through just villains playing stuff, which lets you use other things to play their ambition costs. And you do have to have a special ambition slot on the board for that. Discard, vanquish, fake, playing cards, villain cards, fake cards, all that stuff we already know about. Yeah, so like your credit cost will be up in the top corner. Ambition cost will be down in the lower corner of the picture, so some have those. There is also vehicles in this game as well. Go to the deep space area of the sector, which then once you have them, add additional vehicles in there unless your opponent fakes another vehicle onto the other side. Yeah, so the heroes can engage with that until there's a vehicle on there, and then as soon as there's another one on there, you have to defeat that one before you can play the new one. So yeah, just a couple of other little different things in there. There's some of the other sets. So yeah, just kind of wanted just a refresher on that stuff. So we're going to look at Grand Admiral Thrawn first. So normally what I would do is pick up their board and put it on there, but he has a special board which has removable pieces. Yeah, so he has a very interesting thing. So his goal is to occupy 4 locations. So how do you occupy a location? So there's this big giant empty hole here. You're going to set these up in a specific order. And I probably have them all, some of these backwards, because I had them open. So these are going to get slotted into the board, like so. So you can slot these into the board. So this is a very interesting, different way to play the board. Now, I don't generally like this personally because I don't like having to worry about these pieces constantly falling out because they don't stick in there very well. They have a little, sorry if I zoom down a little bit, they have a little opening slot so you can pull them out easy. But they do have different things on each side, so at least I get why they didn't just do a straight token for them. So what you're going to be doing is during the game, before we look at these areas too much more, is you want to occupy all 4 locations. So to do this, he's going to have special locations you're going to put in there. It's going to tell you which order to put them in there. Lothal, Bang, Ryloth, and Peria, with the non-occupied side up. Then you have 4 artifact tokens. So you have these 4 artifact tokens. A tack, a metal baton, a sword, and a Talikori stack of metal. And what you're going to do is put them on each specific location. Or once you find something, it's going to let them put them on place them on their locations. You have to try and find them. Then he wants to do stuff in a specific way. He wants to go through first, collect all the artifacts. Then he wants to deploy the 7th fleet, and then spend ambition to occupy. So once there's a fleet on there, as long as there is no heroes on there or artifact on there, he can go ahead and occupy that, and then it gets flipped over, and then that ship has to stay in that area. And then hero, he has lots of stuff that has lots of ambition you have to be paying for. So yeah, it's a very interesting, different way to play it. So we do have his different locations here. I'm going to see if I can kind of tip this up a little bit so we can look at these. We have Lothal, which is going to have, and I'm going to have to grab my little symbol here to remember what all these exactly are. We have his ambition, play a card, gain some credits, and vanquish. In Baton, we have gain 1 credit, gain ambition, play a card, and discard a card. In Rythal, I'm probably butchering his name, so we have 2 credits, draw a card, do the fate action, and discard a card. And then in Peria, we have fate, vanquish, move a card, and gaining ambition. So that's the only one that doesn't have credits. It's the only one that lets you move a card around as well, and you don't get to play anything. So you might not hit that one as often, but you guys have double vanquishing, which is kind of fun, just to do that a little bit more. And then as you occupy these, they're all going to flip over and give you new things, which is kind of neat, because then they go from 1s to 3s, or 2 things on the top to 1 on the top and 2 on the bottom. So basically, as you occupy them, having threats come back, heroes come back into them by fate cards, isn't as big of a deal. You can see how much of a pain this already is, but since they changed up the stuff, it makes kind of sense. Alright, so now if we look at them this way, so now Lothal has vanquish, draw a card, 3 credits, and ambition at the top. Credits in Baton, ambition, discard, fate. In Wrath of Fate, 2 credits, draw a card, and discard a card, play a card, and discard a card. And in Peria, we have vanquish. Then we have move a card, fate, and ambition. So now if I pop one of these back out, I just want to see if they have the same symbols. So we have credit, draw a card, ambition, and draw a card. So yeah, so it does actually change up some of them. So like we didn't have fate before, or discarding, we had discard. We had 1 credit, we had ambition, but instead of playing a card, now it ends up being fate. So it's kind of neat that they do change what's on there. It doesn't just rearrange them. So this one looked like those 4 stayed the same. So is it just the draw a card one changes? Or play a card? No, so I still get to play cards. So those ones all stay the same. So is it just that one that changed? That'd be kind of weird, right? Yeah, it's just that one. Interesting. So this one changes from being able to play a card into doing fake actions instead. It's very interesting. See, actually, that's the only one that changed. I don't know why they didn't have them either all stay the same or all have different things. But that was their action to do. There's just a quick reference again with those. Alright, so we didn't take a look at his miniature yet. I'm going to toss this off to the side for the moment. There is his miniature. So he's got like a pearlescence kind of thing. It's kind of, again, I think the translucent blue would look pretty cool too. Unlike the Disney ones and some of the Marvel ones, where they're more vague on what they're supposed to be, these guys are pretty much like, yeah, this looks like that guy. Alright, then we have his deck. Let's see what he can do for us. So we're going to flip this back down. So he has some of his special troopers on there. His 7th Fleet, it looks like, with a Star Destroyer. And, yeah, just some neat other stuff on there. I don't know what all them symbols mean, so I can't talk much to any of them. But definitely cool. So, alright, let's see who we have. We have some allies. So, one thing that's very interesting about Star Wars, and Marvel did it a little bit, but Disney doesn't do it, because Disney, every world is separate. But Star Wars, you have a lot of guys that are going to appear in multiple sets. So, if I'm playing one character, somebody else might have the same guy as a fake hero in their deck. They might have him as a villain in their deck, or a hero, just kind of depending on who you're playing against. So, you can end up playing a game and have 4-player game and have 4 Anakin Skywalkers out, depending on who you're all playing as. Alright, so we're going to start with these. I do not know most of these characters, unfortunately. Morgan Elsbeth. So Morgan Elsbeth gains +1 strength for every occupied location. So as the game goes farther on, she becomes stronger. Baden Skull. This location gains Vanquish. Shin Hake. When you perform a Vanquish action, you may maneuver Shin Hake to a location that use her as part of that Vanquish action. So we have 4 of the Night Troops. When Night Troops is played, they gain +1 strength for every other Night Trooper in play. So the first one adds nothing, then after that they increase. That's pretty fun. Great Mothers. When Great Mothers is played, you may search your discard pile for an ally and put that ally into your hand. And our last ally is Governor Price. When Grand Admiral Thran moves to this location is non-occupied, gain 2 ambitions. This is a great way for us to gain some extra ambition. Alright, then let's look at condition cards. So we have 2 copies of Theater of War. So when another player defeats a hero, you may play Theater of War, draw 2 villain cards, and then discard a villain card. So I'll help you set up your deck a little bit more. And you kind of set the Pearly Essence kind of goes with his outfit a little bit, being all white, where the blue kind of went with his skin or being a hologram. Our other condition, which we have 2 copies of, is the Hollow Map. When another vehicle moves to a vehicle location, another player moves to a vehicle location, you may play the Hollow Map. You may move Grand Admiral Thrawn to a new location for free. On your next turn, move Grand Admiral Thrawn as normal. Okay, it's kind of neat. So that means if someone moves to a location, you need to move them somewhere else, so now you can reoccupy the area you were just at a second turn in a row. So that could be kind of cool. And then we have 4 item cards, which are our 7th Fleet. Only one copy of the 7th Fleet can be in a location. Any ally in this location gains +1 strength. So for 4 ambition, if there are no artifact tokens or heroes at the location, flip this location, go to occupied side. Now, as far as I know, unless there's something in the Fate deck, there's no way to unoccupy a location. So once the 7th Fleet's hit, your opponent's just stuck. Now they have to wait and hope you don't get the rest of them. Alright, we have an effect card. My Specialized Assistant. Just lets you straight up remove a hero. 2 copies of Congratulations, Grand Admiral. Reveal the top 5 cards of the villain deck, choose and reveal an item, ally, or vehicle, and play it for free. That is definitely nice. 4 copies of History, Philosophy, and Art. Remove 1 artifact token from the location or gain 4 ambition. This is what you need to get to search your deck to find this to get rid of those artifacts. 2 copies of Life or Death, gain 2 ambition. 2 copies of Strategy Without Flaw. Reveal reveal the top 5 fate cards. Discard 2. Then return the rest of the top of your fate deck in any order. That's actually not bad either. Then we have 2 vehicles. We have 1 Chimera, which could get you a Vanquish, draw a card, and Ambition action. Gain 1 Ambition for every artifact token collected by Admiral Thran. And then we have the other one, which is the TIE Defender, which gets you a move, which lets you manipulate where your troops are more often, ambition, and a credit. Gain 2 credits for every occupied location. Very cool. Yeah, so he has some very neat, interesting decks there. Let's look at his Fate deck, see who he's fighting against. I'm going to start off with Urza Bridger. When Urza Bridger is defeated, find 7 Warren and play her to the location Urza Bridger was at. Asako Tano. When Asako is played, you may remove an ally. Sabine Wren. When Sabine Wren is defeated, find Asako and play her to the location 7 Wren was at. This is kind of fun. See if you have Urza out and he gets defeated, you can find Sabin. When Sabin gets defeated, then you can find Asako, so you can keep playing more of them. That's kind of interesting. We have 3 copies of Noti. Noti must be targeted first by a Vanquish action where they share a location with any other hero. And Hyung. When Hyung is played, choose a hero from the Fate discard pile, put that hero on top of the Fate deck face down. Interesting. Alright, then we do have some effect cards. We have This Belongs to Hera. Place the artifact token back on non-occupied location. Okay, so I can definitely set you back a bit. 2 copies of Rebels. All heroes in play gain +1 strength. And then 2 copies of Remove an Item. Now, this could remove the 7th Fleet. So there's a way to at least get them off the board before they can flip the occupied. But if the location is occupied, then it doesn't matter if they're there anymore. So another fun thing that Star Wars does at the other section is restriction cards from the hero decks, or the Fate decks. A momentary setback. Thran cannot move an artifact token while a momentary setback is in play. Thran must pay 5 ambition to remove this card. So that's kind of fun. It's like a more permanent hinder. We have our vehicle cards. We have the T6 Jedi Shuttle. When T6 Jedi Shuttle is played, Thran must remove up to 5 credits or 2 ambition. And then Home 1. When Home 1 is played, shuffle the Fate discard pile into the Fate deck. Draw a top card if it's a hero played immediately, otherwise put it back. Put your card on the bottom of the Fate deck. We're kind of just trying to get your heroes back out. Alright, so yeah, so that's a very interesting setup. So yeah, he kind of has to do stuff in methodical order. Gotta work on removing them artifacts, then getting them ships out, and then paying the ambition. So you gotta kind of save your ambition to pay for that. But of course, you always get your fleets out ahead of time. It's not going to hurt anything. Just there's more chance for them to maneuver them around the board as well. Yeah, very, very interesting deck. The whole flipping the thing, I think, is a neat mechanic. Although it is a little frustrating on the fact that you have to keep... yeah, it falls apart like that. But I don't know really how else... The only other way they could have done it would have been... made that a solid board and had an extra 4 tokens that you put on top of them with the alternate things. And that definitely would have, I honestly think, would have been a better way to go than have the board fall apart all the time. Especially because you're not flipping them back and forth over and over and over. So, there's also that. They could just also just left the symbols as they were and just had an occupied token, and that wouldn't have even been that bad of an idea. You know, but then again, if you're going to have a token on that says occupied, why not just have a bigger one that just covered the actual thing? So, alright, then we have Count Dooku. The galaxy is vast, but my influence knows no bound. So he has a very interesting game mechanic as well. So what he wants to do is have an active organization at each location. So before we jump into his thing, let's look at what he does. So he is going to have a lot of these tokens. So he has a bunch of these influence tokens. There's a bunch of ones. I think there was a total of 25 of them. 35? 35. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we have 25 ones and we have 10 fives. So he has special tokens. I do like on there, they're like rainbows. I wish there were rainbows in these versus just straight black and white. So what he wants to do is he wants to play these organizations on the board. They're in your deck. When you find them, they don't have any cost to do, but they do have a play. You have to still pay a card to play them. One organization per location. If you are on there, you can play another location to another spot to replace it, as long as you don't have any influence on it. Then what you want to be doing is paying influence. So must intimidate organizations to gain their support for a separatist movement. Well, it goes then be placing your influence on top of the cards. So it says, by organization's ability can be unlocked by collecting a number of intimidation tokens equal to or exceeding the value indicated on the organization. And once you pay for it, you have to pay for as much as it does. So if it says put 6 on there, you have to put 6 even if you only needed 2. And then the other way to get them on there is by defeating heroes. So if you defeat a hero that has a 5 strength, you put 5 more tokens on there. So you don't even need to activate all of them. Have an active organization. So you have to activate all 5 of them. Sorry. So or all 4 of them. So you have to play all 4 of them on the board and then spend a ton of influence tokens to get them out. So very interesting. So where does he get to go? We have Sereno, Naboo, Geonosis, and Bridge of the Invisible Hand. What do you do at Sereno? We have Vanquish, gain 3 credits, activate a card. I don't know why that activate a card thing looked odd, because we haven't seen it much, and draw a card. So he gets his activating his special abilities. That's going to be like his organizations once they have a skill on them. In Naboo, we gain 2 credits, play 2 cards, or gain an ambition. In Geonosis, we have Fate, gain a credit, draw or play a card, and discard a card. And in the Bridge, we have Activate, Fate, Vanquish, and Ambition. So yeah, very interesting as well for all his board steps. So yeah, there's 2 different actions, so we can do both of them to activate stuff. If you need Ambition, we're only going to have the 2 spots to be able to do that. But we do have 2 different Vanquish actions as well. So you have a little bit everything spread out a little bit all over the place. So very interesting. Alright, here is his miniature. Definitely got his smug face. I love his curved lightsaber in there that they used underneath his cape. Because it's that unique curved handle. So very cool there. Alright, and now let's take a look at his deck. Alright, so he's got his palace there, he's got his space, he's got some special guards. His lightsaber in there, his ship, the invisible hand. Very, very neat. Alright, what does he bring to the table? Our first ally is going to be Nuke Gunray. So he has an activate abilities. It says exchange any number of credits for an equal number of intimidation tokens. Place imitation tokens on any organization. So that's kind of fun. So you want to save up your credits to spend those. We have Jango Effect. When played, maneuver the hero at the lowest strength to Jango Effect's location. General Grievous. When General Grievous is used in a Vanquish action, add 8 intimidation tokens to an organization. Cad Bane has activate. Play a Vanquish action against the hero. Cad Bane may join the Vanquish action. So there's also a fun thing because we do have some of these other characters, like Cad Bane is someone that somebody else could be playing as. It's kind of a fun idea. We have 3 copies of the Manga Guards. Magna Guards. When Magna Guard would be discarded in a Vanquish and put them into your hand instead. We're going to get Asuka Ventress. Activate, reveal a fate card until you reveal a hero. Play that hero at this location. And then we have Savage Oppress. Just activate, discard Savage Oppress, gain 2 credits and 2 ambition and draw a card. So a lot of allies in here, which kind of makes sense. He's kind of a, I'm going to stand in the background and let everyone else do all my work type of guy. So it kind of makes sense there. Alright, then we have our conditions. We have 2, a worthy opponent. When another player performs a vanquish action, play a worthy opponent to gain 2 ambition. So very simple. And then 2 copies of a new apprentice. When another player performs an ambition action, play a new apprentice. Move up to 5 intimidation tokens from one organization to any other organization. So why would you want to do this? It's definitely because maybe the one is that much closer to getting complete, and that way you can start using its ability, getting you more options to do stuff. Or you might want to reset one to a different one. You might be like, I don't want that one, I want to switch it to something else, but I already have tokens on it. Because there are 4 locations, but there are 5 cards, so you might want to switch out for one of the other one. The one other one. Could be a possibility. Alright, for some effects, we have Here's My Offer. Play Here's My Offer, then discard cards from your hand. For each card you discard, collect 5 intimidation tokens and add them to any organization. The Power of a Sith Lord. Remove a hero, add intimidation tokens equal to double their strength to an organization, draw a card. 2 copies of Master Duelist. All allies gain +1 strength. 3 copies of War Has Begun. Reveal fate cards until you find a hero. Place that hero any location, discard the rest, draw a villain card. And then we have 2 copies of Separatist Leader. Reveal villain cards until you find an organization. Play to a location without an organization. We do have 1 item card. The Footnot Speeder. Do not attach Footnot Speeder to an ally. When Count Dooku is at this location, he may play 1 non-covered action from any non-vehicle location. Very cool, so you just gotta jump around. We do have some vehicles. We have the Genoshan Fighter. Which lets you draw 2 cards when you play it, but it has discard, move a card, or gain some ambition. And then we have the Solar Sailor. Maneuver an ally to a new location. It'll let you activate, gives you extra activate option, which is cool. Gain ambition and gain a credit. So yeah, very cool. Vehicles are also neat, add extra spaces to the board. Then we have our 5 organizations. We have Intergalactic Banking Clan, which has an intimidation of 20 tokens. When fully paid, for all of Count Dooku's credits costs are reduced by 1 to a minimum of 0, so that makes all his cards cheaper. On Camino, we have intimidation of 25. When fully paid for, when Count Dooku is at this location, he may take an ally from the discard pile and play it for free. The Hutt Clan, intimidation of 30. When this is fully paid for and Count Dooku is at this location, he may pay 1 credit for each organization that isn't. He may pay 1 credit to each organization that is not paid for. He may pay 1 credit to each organization that is not paid for. I wonder if it's supposed to be means he can put 1 intimidation on each other one that is not active. I think that's what they mean. I think it's just worded incorrectly. The Mon Cala Civil War, intimidation of 30. When fully paid for, all of Count Dooku's ambition costs are reduced by 1. And then the last one is the Death Watch, intimidation of 25. When fully paid for, when Count Dooku's at the location, he may give a hero -2 strength. So very neat. It would have been kind of cool if they would have had the organizations. I think it would have been neat if they had, like, instead of 5, had, like, 7, 8 of them or something, so you had a lot more options to kind of choose through. And then maybe have them, like, in a separate deck, so you didn't have to, like, search your deck for them, and maybe you found your cards, like, find them or play an organization card, and you just had to play it. But then you had a lot more different options to kind of maybe choose through. Because then, like, getting to, like, replace them would have been a little bit more effective. Because realistically, like, when it's 25, 30, 30, 25, 20, this should be the only one you'd want to probably maybe replace. Maybe one of the 25s through a 30. But again, once you have any influence on them, you can't replace them. So you kind of have to be like, oh, unless that's my only one out, I may as well wait and not put anything on there until I have in case I can get a chance to draw one of the cheaper ones. So, very interesting though. Alright, that is... Oh, nope. As I said, that's what we have, but we have to look at his fate deck yet, don't we? I thought this was going a little bit quick. We have Qui-Gon Jinn. When Qui-Gon Jinn is defeated, play the top fate card. Obi-Wan Kenobi. An ally or item at Obi-Wan Kenobi's location cannot use their ability. Anakin Skywalker. When played, you may maneuver allies to new locations. Asako Tano. When Asako is defeated, reveal fate cards until you reveal a hero. Play that hero to Asako's former location. Yoda. Play any organization at Yoda's location cannot use their ability. Master Yaddle. Count Dooku does not gain any intimidation tokens when Master Yaddle is defeated. Mace Windu. When played, you may maneuver any number of heroes to new locations. And Padme Amidala. All other heroes in play gain +1 shrink. So a lot of heroes in this one. We do have some effect cards. The Price for Failure. Choose to either remove all of Count Dooku's credits or ambitions. Oh, that's mean. And then 2 copies of Surrender You Should. Remove 5 intimidation tokens from any organization. And we have Betrayal. You may remove any ally allocation with a hero. Our restriction for Count Dooku is Caught. Count Dooku cannot gain any intimidation tokens while Caught is in play. Remove Caught after 3 heroes have been defeated. Ooh, that one could be out for a little while. And their vehicles are the Delta 7 Jedi Starfighter. When Delta 7 Jedi Starfighter is played, remove 2 intimidation tokens from any organization for every hero in play. And Delta 7B Jedi Starfighter. When Delta 7B Jedi Starfighter is played, maneuver any hero to a new location. When defeated, maneuver that hero to a new location. Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, he has a very interesting deck as well in gameplay mechanics. It's always interesting to see how well they work against other players. One thing to note with both of these guys is they don't really rely on the Fate deck too much. We have other characters. Disney has a lot. Some in Marvel not as much about Marvel. I have to recheck those. But yeah, some of the guys, they need you to defeat a certain character or maneuver an item that might be in the Fate deck to a certain spot. So they have to rely on your opponents faking them a lot. Neither of these two have to worry about that. They could go the entire game with never being fated and still win the game. So that's kind of makes them a little bit more interesting, a little bit more dangerous, because if you're not using the fate action against them, they could just go ahead and succeed. So you're not playing anything to help them either, let alone just hindering them. But that's what we have for Star Wars Villainous, Cold Tactics. Check out the rest of the Villainous stuff from Star Wars, Disney, Marvel. See you guys later. Bye.